Okay, so here we go. Excuse the over-recording because the audio didn't work for this part of the video. So we're making a beef stew, beef casserole. We've got our crock pot on, it's on high, and in there's just some beef stock cubes and a pint of water. And we're going to add our basic vegetables to start with. So we're going to add a large onion, some carrots and some celery. We're going to chop them up. They don't need to be small, but they don't need to be huge chunks either. So just a good cubed, hearty kind of chop. And then we have some tomatoes. These are from our garden. Everything took such a long time to ripen this year. It's just been a terrible year for growing. So we'll go through those and put some tomatoes in as well. So we've got our veg in. And we're just going to deal with the tomatoes. So I picked out the ripest ones, washed them, and then we're going to cut them down just into halves. Beef and tomato, classic flavour. Except that one's gone in the bin apparently. There must have been something wrong with that one. So yeah, just in half. Even the small ones, because you want those seeds and the juice inside to come out. So even the little ones just get cut in half so that you get that flavour going all the way through. So what we're going to do with this eventually is once we've got our meat and all our vegetables and our seasonings in, we're going to put them in and we're going to leave it for about 3 or 4 hours. Crockpot stews are great for winter time. They're really good for winter. Taking my time with these tomatoes. And we're actually going to use not just diced beef, we're going to use a braising steak. So braising steak typically should be braised in the oven, and some people, if they're using it in a casserole, do kind of fry it off first to seal the meat. I like to leave it simply because it melts into the stew and into the liquid. It's nicely marbled, so I'm just saying that the meat, because it's marbled, will have a lot of flavour to it. Although that big lump in the middle, that big lump of fat I do cut out. Some people really like it. I do take out some of the fat because you can never be sure if there's any gristle. And gristle just isn't good, especially when you get a mouthful of a delicious stew and then a mouthful of gristle. It's not good. So I've just cut this up into chunks. So give it a good cut. It can be into strips as well. However you want to do it, it's your choice. So I'm going to get that all chopped up, and then once it's in, we'll wipe down our surface area, disinfect and wash our hands. When you're handling meat, it's always a err on the side of caution. Although rare beef isn't the worst, it's not as bad as chicken, it's still, everything needs cleaning down because the bacteria in meat can grow very, very quickly without you realising. So we're just going to get all that chopped up and in, and then we'll have a little clean down. Okay, so that's all of our meat into our casserole. So I'm just going to go and wash my hands, clear all that down. We don't need our knives or anything anymore. Okay, so we have our stock pot. We're going to get all that meat stirred in. And to that we're going to add some seasoning. So I'm starting with some ground black pepper. A pinch of salt, again measured in my hand so I can tell how much because it comes out really fast. Some mixed herbs. I do grow herbs, but it's been a really bad year for growing this year, hence why the tomatoes were late, the herbs didn't grow. And then we're just going to add some garlic, give it a good stir around, and then once all that is into the pot, it's in for about 3 hours once it's all stirred. There we go, all mixed through. Put a lid on and you just leave it. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours, so I'm going to have a look how we're getting on. steamy, excuse the seam. See, we're starting to soften and cook through. So what I'm going to add to this is a little bit of gravy, just to make it thicken up a bit now. So I'm just going to add a couple of spoons of gravy. Okay, so I've just added a couple of spoons of gravy granules just to get it thickening up. And we'll leave that now for another hour or two, just to finish cooking in that lovely juice. Okay, so final check before we get some bread on, and we're ready to serve. So you can see it's got a nice thick gravy to it now. All our vegetables are nice and soft. So that is ready for serving. So I'm just going to put some bread on it, so the next time you see us will be the taste test. Okay, so here we go. Braised beef and vegetable. Jason's going to give it a try.
That's one there. Big chunks of beef for these, baby.
That was a proper braised steak.
Ooh.
It was cheaper than buying frozen rubbish.
Ah, chunky. I'll burn my mouth off this.
What's the verdict?
A little chewy. Well, that's because it's braising steak. Very tender. Very nice. It's very rich gravy. Lots of flavour in there. Celery, carrots. A bit of herbs in there as well, I can taste. It's like nice, thick, rich gravy. That's lovely.
Well, there you go. So that is
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 braising steak and vegetables. And that's been in the slow cooker for about 6 hours. So there we go. I'll pop the recipe in the description. If you have any comments or anything, please pop them underneath and I'll try and get to them. Thank you so much for watching. Take care out there.